Everyone here is having a wonderful time, ladies and gentlemen. Do share your thoughts about the conference on social media and do not forget to use the hashtag CXNextUAE. It is now time for our first fireside chat of the day where we discuss who truly owns the customer, the partners, or the brand itself. Please put your hands together for Rahul Rajpal, Director Global Customer Experience for Google Ads, Google. Rahul has extensive experience in digital transformation, customer experience, and operational excellence, including quality and risk monitoring spanning over 25 plus years. He has led large global partner network operations as well as in-house teams across operations, global customer experience, risk monitoring, and quality. Rahul, can we please have you on stage? Please keep the applause going. As moderating this session, we have Ravi Raman, Editorial Director of Martechvibe. Ravi is a media professional with more than 2 decades of content strategy, brand marketing, and team leadership experience. He launched the regional editions of world-renowned brands like Wired and Bloomberg Business Week and has extended to other leading publications from the New York Times to India Today. He's a TEDx speaker and no stranger to the stage, so please give him a very warm welcome as he makes his way to the podium. Over to you, Ravi.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just checking the mic and the energy in the room. How are we feeling? Good? All right. In an interconnected economy, can we truly own the brand and the customer experience? Can brands really claim to own their customers and their experience? That's what we're trying to discuss today. But a quick pop question. How many touch points do you think a customer takes before he reaches your brand, engages with the brand, or buys something from you? Any number? How many touch points does a customer go through before he engages with your brand or buys something from you? Simple question. Sorry? 20? Yeah. Any other number? 30? Did I hear 30? It almost feels like an auction. Anything else? All right. So research shows that it is between 8 to 12, but a Google study shows that it's between 20 to 500. So I don't know where the 500 number came from, but that's what we're going to discuss today, Rahul. So first of all, tell me, we know there are multiple touch points. So how do you ensure that all touch points are controlled directly?
Firstly, very good afternoon to the group out here. It's lovely to be here, and thank you for the opportunity. Actually, when Sneha was introducing, I thought I remembered a short story. Let me share that with the audience out here. Sometime back, a few years back, I happened to be in a similar session, and somebody asked me, Rahul, what do you do? And I said, I'm with Google. He says, that's your company's name. What is that you do? I'm a head of customer experience. Well, that's your designation. What is that you do? And I took a pause and thought about it, and then I said, look, me and my team is on a mission to improve the customer experience for our customers to make them successful. And I come to work looking for those opportunities to improve the processes and streamline those processes so that my customers can get a seamless experience in every interaction. And he said, yeah, that's exactly spot on. Thank you so much for that. So I just want to start with the reminder to my peer industry professionals out here that our role is to look at where the pain points, whether in the customer touch points, or whether in our processes internally or externally, how do we really continuously transform this and continuously improve that? So with that, Ravi, let me just start by saying that we own the customer experience. Period. Don't look here and there. Don't say, I have many touch points. I have technology partners. I have third-party partners and service providers, who are providing the service, contact center support, their website, your app. There are many touch points. Don't look here and there and say, this particular touch point doesn't work, and hence my customer experience is not right. It's our job. It's our job as CX professionals to really first map these customer touch points and then start looking at what touch point is actually not working. An example of that is you would see your customers coming to the payment gateway and then dropping from there. Well, that's a customer touch point, the customers are not happy about. You will look at the last mile delivery. And that's another customer touch point, which you will see the customers are not happy about the delivery time frame. Your support center, a lot of speakers, a lot of folks, talked about the support centers. Well, yes, your frontline customer executive who's talking to the customer is a very integral part and a very important touch point. That's where the brand's promise is actually either meeting or breaking. Don't underestimate that. Many a times, companies are not investing into those customer support capabilities and skills, and then, you would see the customers are going back furious.
Great. So you did establish the fact that, yes, all touch points are the brand's responsibility. So you told us what should be done. Tell us how it should be done.
Yeah. It's a very easier said than done, but we have to be very intentional about it, right? I'll say 3 things that we as a company and we as CX professionals that we need to continue to establish. Number 1, how do we drive a culture or a tone at the top? What exactly is our mission in terms of what is a customer experience that we truly would want to deliver? What is our promise? Second is that, what are we measuring? What exactly customers are looking for? Speed, quality, turnaround time, accuracy, depth. We got to measure, what customers really care about, what is the most important for them. And third, don't underestimate, listening to the customers. It's super important. We see a lot of, historical, traditional metrics, that we measure. Let me say this, standing here in front of you, they're not enough. We got to continue to listen to our customers and then continue to look at how do we continue to improve this and transform that. And the starting point of that is our mapping of the customer journeys and the touch points. You talked about 25. I hope it's not 500, because then mapping 500 and then starting to measure that would be a very, very difficult job. But then, the important touch points are what? Think about this, and I can share a very quick story, something very close to my heart. Any one of you who have witnessed or watched Shark Tank program, US, or it recently came in India as well, without telling the name of the brand, that was the first touch point. The person came in, pitched about a particular product, and this was a customized sole of a shoe. That was a product. Very, niche product. I got interested and, went to their website, looked at their website, looked at the different products that they were offering, got interested, looked at the customer testimonials and saw, that this is actually quite nice because a lot of customers were raving about the product. Great. Went to their website, and before placing the order, I actually called their customer support. Guess what? The customer support was not just answering the question. He was acting as an advisor. I wanted to buy 2 products. He said, look, don't buy 2 products. Just buy this right now. If you find it good, take the next one. Good stuff. You are an advisor to me. You're not just a customer support representative. My belief about that brand really went up. Went to that website, checked out the product, ordered the product. In 2 days' time, the brand delivered or person came in, took my customized, shoe size, and that was also seamless. As promised, they were able to deliver that. And then the saga started. The actual product that they were actually promising were not delivered for a good 4 weeks. Finally, I had to call them. Guess what the answer was? We are overwhelmed because of the demand, and we are unable to meet or fulfill the promise. Gosh, this is the customer touch point that broke immediately. And then finally, the product came in after 6 weeks. Frankly speaking, my utility about that product, went down significantly, and that was a make and break for the brand. So just to touch upon the point that you made, multiple touch points, right? From the time that you had a TV commercial to a website or your app, customer, testimonies. Then after that, you had the payment checkout, process, customer support, and then finally the last mile delivery. Even one customer touch point, going bad can really make your experience go completely different. So.
All right. So I know this format is supposed to be a fireside chat, but I want to make it a fireside discussion. So at any point, if you have any comments, queries, questions, please raise your hand. Anything else? Anything that you want to know more about what you just said? You can name the brand, by the way.
No, that's okay.
Anyone wants to know the brand?
It's all about, look, we are all here wanting to learn about, what is that I can take it back, that I can deliver or implement in my organization to make my customer successful. Why the customer journey is important. And that's exactly my purpose, was to share, this example,
Point
not
taken
talking
out.
about it.
We'll all guess the brand. But the point is, you did mention about multiple touch points, but also a lot of factors which are beyond the brand's control. It could be the production, it could be the last mile delivery, it could be the payment gateway. So how can partners be integrated and their value system and their service levels improve to bring to your brand level or brand promise?
Yeah. Look, I'm going to start by, touching upon one very important aspect that I strongly believe in. Any of the organization that either we are part of, lead it, or we are working in them, partners are a very integral part of our ecosystem. Let's not mince a word that without them we would not be successful all alone. So, and that's the reason why we're calling them partners. We're not calling them vendors. Think about it. Partners could be your third-party service provider, who's helping you from a customer support standpoint. The partner could be your technology partner who's giving you the payment gateway. The partner could be the brand marketing team who's actually helping you to put the chaos. Everywhere, the company's promise is either making or breaking. So partners are a very integral part of it. We look at three things. Number one, some of you or many of you, would either agree or disagree with this, but create the transparency to build the trust. Create the transparency to build the trust. The moment you do that with the partner, they are with you, they have their skin in the game with you to actually improve the experience overall, whatever part of the customer touch points that they are currently working with you on. Second, measure the outcomes that is the most important for you and for your customers. Your partner should care about it. One of the, if I may say, deficiency in the system is that we give our partners multiple things. We tell them, from a contact center perspective, we tell them, you measure CSAT, you measure quality, you measure turnaround time, you measure productivity, name it, and you confuse them. Don't do that. Give them, the top two metrics that you really care about it, and go after that in terms of measuring it in the most right way, hold them accountable for that standard. Third, incentivize them. Incentivize them, for the right behaviors, and coach them. That is one very important aspect that we miss out. We believe we have outsourced the business to the partner. Now it is up to them, let them go and, figure it out on their own. Specifically, even at Google, we truly believe in creating a partner ecosystem where we're helping them set up for a success. So if you truly, would want to work with the partners, integrate them, create more transparency, build that trust and ownership with them, measure the right outcomes, fewer is more, lesser is more. And the third is that coach them and incentivize them, for success.
All right. So I can imagine a lot of people in this room might be thinking, you are Google. You can afford to do that. You have the scale, you have the might, you have the revenues, resources to do it. How does a startup, small and medium enterprise, or even large legacy-driven company do this?
Yeah. Look, this is, again, my favorite quote out here is that even while, I worked with Google or, with other companies as well, it's not about the resources only. We're not putting the resources, to every problem that we have in our hand. It's all about the mindset, how we are actually helping improve our customer experience. I gave you the example of the startup, that I'm talking about it. They didn't have too many resources. One thing that they could have done differently is that they could have set the expectations about the last mile delivery differently. They could have said, look, we are actually sitting with a higher demand because of the XYZ reason, expect the delivery not beyond 4 weeks. And if you are able to deliver that within the less than 4 weeks time, the customer would actually go back happy. As opposed to, I think one of the speakers, talked about the quick commerce where a lot of companies today are delivering, the groceries and the products, within 10, 15 minutes time. Well, that's exactly, what we are also seeing, around the world where if they consistently deliver to the promise that they are making, you would go back to that brand and the company again and again. So in my mind, I think really setting the right expectations, would be the key out here.
Okay, so I want to just open this to audience questions. So anyone has a question about really managing expectations, managing partners? I see a lady over there. Second table, yeah, I can see you. So we just need to have a mic sent to you. Mic is reaching you, don't worry. Do state your name, company, and then ask your question. We are in the age of quick commerce. The mic should reach you quicker. Or do you want to just stand up?
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Just stand up, ask your question.
So I'm Buthainan from OSN product team. So as you said, like, okay, you need to understand your touch point and you need to manage your expectation, right? And this is like really good, and I take it as not. So, yeah, so, but, okay, we understand our touch point and we analyze like the reviews and what we should do. And some customer, they ask for a lot of like a new feature. And as you said, Ravi, like, okay, you are Google. So you have the right revenue, you have the right resource, but other company, maybe we did our budget, like for this year, we have the exact budget, we have the exact effort, we have the right team, but we cannot manage all the expectation for the users. And sometimes you get bad reviews about a new feature. This is not about like you improve your gateway, our user experience, we improve it every day, we improve our gateway, but some other new feature that we cannot provide it now, but maybe we can provide it next year or after next year. But you have bad reviews and bad comments about this one. So this is a big challenge for us. So how we can manage this challenge and how we can improve this, because it's not in our hand now, for now.
By the way,
thank you.
No, thank you so much for your question. Very relevant question. You were actually saying, we have all the resources and hence we can get all the features in our product every time. Well, sometimes, that's also a challenge for a company like ours as well. But anyhow, back to your question. Your question is that if it is a small setup and your customers are asking for a feature, you're unable to deliver that. Too many, yeah, that's what she is actually showing. How do you really manage those expectations? Look, I'm going to start by saying the features that they're asking is an output. What exactly is the inherent pain that they are going through? What is the need of the customer? That is the reason why they're asking for that feature. If you start with that, it may or may not necessarily be a feature that you need to deliver, but you could think about an innovative way to address that problem. So don't think about, that, hey, I'm going to spend, so much of resources and actually building a new feature. It's going to be so costly, but whether I don't know, it is going to solve, my customer needs, fully, but that's what they're asking for. They have a pain or they have a need. Either I'm going to put my resources in building a new feature or find a way to solve this pain or need, maybe in an innovative manner.
I think that's a very insightful answer. Any other questions? Or can I just move ahead? All right. So we also talked about CX journey blind spots. I'm sure all brands tend to miss this. First of all, how do you spot a blind spot? And secondly, how do you address it?
Yeah, pretty good question. By the way, as I went through quite a few presentations today, I saw that we have a lot of traditional way of measuring customer experience. You do the survey, you do transaction CSAT, internal quality review, so on and so forth. I am not a very big fan of thinking that this is actually telling us the true health of customer experience. Not a very big fan. And hear me out. And I'm talking about a company, it's not Google, something else. Again, I'm not going to take the name. But the company actually been delivering very strong customer satisfaction results measured through transaction CSAT, internal quality, and quite a few things. Okay. We means that company conducted a customer panel review. Just very similar to this. Customers came in and the company was actually asking questions to the customers. Guess what? The customers actually talked about quite a few things about the product which is not working well. That means even though we are measuring the customer satisfaction and we believe that we are on the right track, customer experience is quite healthy, the actual experience from the customer, even in a panel. It's a small sample size. You may say, look, it's not a very representative sample. Fair enough. It is still a good sample, so, to look at what exactly is feedback from the customer. That's the first one. Second, I'm a big fan of, I don't know how many of you have heard about this, mystery shopping. If you truly talk about the customer touch point, act as a customer and go through the entire process. That is the true test of what your experience, your customers are going through. We are many a times caught into the same, old traditional way of, measuring customer satisfaction, internal quality, and so on and so forth, and we believe customers are happy. Well, that's just one aspect of it. Your customers' needs and their demands are evolving by every day. In fact, post-COVID, we are seeing a trend where more and more customers are expecting us to really deliver a superlative customer experience, because the traditional way of me contacting a phone support post-COVID, or at least during COVID, got really impacted for many companies. So now the customers are looking for, give me a speedy answer, give me an accurate answer, and personalize that for me. And you can't measure this through all your traditional way of measuring customer satisfaction. Act as a customer, do a mystery shopping, figure it out, what exactly is the touch point which is actually breaking.
Great. How many of you agree to mystery shopping being a great tool? Okay, quite a few.
Okay,
that's
I'm
great.
glad that people are.
All right, so that's great. We have precisely 12 seconds now. So either we can take one last question, or we can do a long, big round of applause. Up to you guys.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
I'm here to learn, engage, and share some of my experiences. It was a great opportunity. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good day.